Hi everyone, welcome to another video announcement. Hope you're having a good week. As you know, we're right in the middle of Module 2. We've been thinking about our service learning and how that's going to work, combining that with a project or a research paper. So hopefully you've made some headway on that and that you've looked over the resources we have in Module 2 about service learning. And don't forget that there is a quiz over that by the end of Module 2. Module 3 is now open, and we'll be taking a look at another part of our class, which is ePortfolios. If you haven't noticed by now, our class does follow a kind of pattern. I introduce things like service learning or ePortfolios, but they're not necessarily, the final product is not necessarily due in the module that I introduced them. So kind of give you time to absorb the information and think about what you want to do and how you're going to do it. That's why we have those set up in that way. So Module 3, we're going to start thinking about ePortfolios. A lot of you have completed an ePortfolio in MDS 300 when you took that. If you have not done that, I do give you time in the 400 course to create an ePortfolio, and we do have a couple of sessions coming up where I actually will sit down with you, a classroom kind of lab that we do in the evening. I think there's one coming up this month in September and another one in November. So keep posted for that. If you want to come to that, you're welcome to. If you have questions outside of that, I'll be glad to answer those as well. But by the end of the course, you will need to have an ePortfolio in Digication. If you created a personal ePortfolio in another platform, we can definitely use that, and I encourage you to use that, but you will need to upload some assignments in Digication by the end of the semester, and those assignments are actually the artifacts that you've chosen for each outcome, program outcome. So at the very minimum, you would have to create, in addition to the personal website you already have, you have to create a shell in Digication where you can put those assignments and then upload those assignments in Digication at the end of the semester. To do that doesn't take long. I would say you could probably do that in about 20 minutes. If you have all your artifacts and justifications from your other website, it's just basically a matter of copying and pasting. So that's a little bit about the ePortfolios. Some of you may still be challenged with the technology that is in Digication. I know it's not all that intuitive, but I'm here to help you get the most out of that experience. I do hope that by the time you're done with your ePortfolios, that you'll want to use them in the future, either to show to your friends and family, to use as kind of a reference of the work you've done at Boise State if you're applying for graduate school or applying for a new job, to show employers the kinds of skills that you now have as a result of your time here at Boise State. So I do feel like your ePortfolio can be a very useful part of your graduating experience. You do get to take that with you when you go, and you have access to Digication after you graduate for as long as you want it. So just keep that in mind as you're contemplating about your ePortfolio, how you want it to look, and what you want in there for the future. As well, we have a couple other things in Module 3 that you need to be aware of. There's a timeline that I asked you to start looking at in Module 2 about what your capstone assignment's going to be, whether it's a research paper or a project, what the main parts of that are going to look like, and when you might finish those, any possible obstacles you might find in doing that. So that worksheet is due by the end of Module 3 as well. There's a short journal about your service learning, what you've done so far to find that, and how you feel that your service learning is going to fit in with your overall goals and experiences so far. And then finally, there's an assignment where I ask you to let me know whether you're doing your service learning project or service learning hours through OrgSync or an organization that's outside of OrgSync. If you've chosen a nonprofit that's not involved with the OrgSync at Boise State, then you do need to fill out the student-initiated service learning form, and that document can be found in the service learning folder in course resources part of our course. So make sure to fill that out and have that uploaded in Module 3. There's an assignment. If you're not quite sure where you're doing your service learning yet, time is running out, but that's okay. Just make sure that when you do finalize that you notate that in the assignment in Module 3 so that I know and I have in one place all the information that I need of where you're doing your service learning, who you're doing it with, and how you're going to keep track of your hours. So that's about all that's coming up in Module 3. If you have questions about that or anything else in the course, please contact me. Hope you have a great Labor Day weekend, and if I don't hear from you, I'll definitely see you online. Thanks.